Tu Quoque. Logical fallacy whereby arguer does not address interlocutor's criticism, but instead pivots to another example of the same criticism applied elsewhere. To answer criticism with criticism, turning it around onto someone else, rather than addressing it, a fallacy. This is a non sequitur, because even if the criticism, once turned upon the other party, happens to be valid, it isn't relevant, because it wasn't the initial topic. Context is not always important. Also called appeal to hypocrisy fallacy because it seeks to establish the opponent as a hypocrite for failing to apply his criticism of you to himself or someone else. Again, this is a fallacy, because even if someone were a hypocrite, it doesn't necessarily follow that their criticism is invalid. Logic is not a tit for tat, in which one party's hypocrisy negates their ability to criticize someone else for the same. Hypocrisy does not negate valid criticism. Pointing out someone's hypocrisy is only valid when they use it, or ignore it, as a justification for continuing this hypocrisy. You can't criticize me. Everyone does this. Also popularly called the whataboutism, because in English, this fallacy usually begins with the rhetorical rejoinder, what about?
C. Hurley, P.J., 2012. A Concise Introduction to Logic, 11th edition. Boston, Massachusetts, Wadsworth Signage Learning, page 119.
Example.
Al Capone, you are a murderous gangster.
What about you, you hypocrite? You are a murderous gangster.
Question. Is Luciano a hypocrite for calling Capone a gangster? Answer. Yes. Question. Does the statement Al Capone is a gangster become an untrue statement merely because the person saying it, Luciano, is a hypocrite for saying so? Answer. No. Al Capone is a gangster is an objectively true statement. It remains true, even if it is uttered on the lips of a fellow gangster, who is thus a hypocrite. Therefore, being a hypocrite does not necessarily make your argument invalid. Corollary. It is a fallacy to merely point out someone's hypocrisy and attempt to disprove their argument, whether by demonstrating their own hypocrisy, or by saying, what about, some third party, that you aren't also criticizing. To do so is the Tu Quoque fallacy.
C. Hurley, P.J., 2012. A Concise Introduction to Logic, 11th edition. Boston, Massachusetts, Wadsworth Signage Learning, page 119.